All right, y'all. Hi. Here's one I think most of us are pretty good at. Um, Blaming other people for everything. Um, I do this. I'm super good at doing this. And the more I get to know how habitually I do this, and how funnily, delusionally, I do this, yeah, the more hilarious it becomes, I think. Um, I do this in big ways, in small ways, in medium sized ways. It runs the gamut. But there is definitely a tendency, a pattern, a learned thing, whatever, almost an instinct. I mean, it's funny how deep it goes to whenever something goes wrong, even slightly wrong, um, to immediately basically say, that's not my fault. I didn't do that. Um, and the easiest way to do that is to say, you did that. This guy did that. You did it. Um, yeah, so, and I think it's hugely hurtful, obviously, to do this, because basically, I don't take accountability for myself, and also take away implicitly kind of like agency, over my own stuff, my own state, um, my own situation. Uh, so a small way, small way, and most hilariously, I think, a favorite of mine is to blame my partner for anything that happens around the house that I don't like. Most commonly, some gets lost. I need my boots, and I don't know where they are, or the strawberry jam is missing. My immediate reaction is, why did she move that? Jeez. And then the thing that makes it funny is that what most often happens now is, like, I'm like, okay, yeah, I know that I do that, and probably it's not really the case, because why would she move my boots? Why would she move the jam to some weird location? It's probably somewhere that makes sense. But even better is, I've discovered enough times that I myself moved the object, caused the problem. Um, and that's where it hits me in the face. Um, I'll remember that I put the boots here. Oh, they're on the radiator. Um, oh, the jam, I put on some pancakes earlier, so it's still out or whatever. It's not in the fridge. It stares me right in the face, that I actually did this. And this is the place where it's easiest to notice, because it's staring me right in the face. Okay, that's just reality. So I can deny it, but I'm not into that. Um, some people do that, myself included. Way more, back in the day. I immediately forget that I blamed someone else for this, and just be like, oh, yeah, that never happened. But then I miss the great, like, opportunity that this is. It's an opportunity itself, discovery, because, man, if this is a constant pattern deep down or whatever, what what the heck is going on? Why is this my freaking, like, worldview? Why is this my automatic reaction when something's, like, wrong? I'm like, oh dang, my partner did this. Like, how? What's she doing? Like, huh? Why is my reaction not just a neutral? I wonder where the jam's at. Well, let's look for it. Well, let me ask my partner nicely if she knows where the jam is. And when I think back, I think these things are learned. I think they're taught. And I definitely grew up in a place where the blame was thrown around, man. It was thrown around hard. I remember this, and being criticized for small things like this when things went a little bit wrong around the house, even when I was young. It not being like okay to say, oh dang, I did this in a nice neutral way. There was definitely the self-bashing also that happened. Like, how could I do this? Oh, I'm so dumb. Because that's just the other side of it. So yeah, it's learned. And when I see it, it's funny, but it still operates. It still goes. It still happens. It's slowing down slowly, but it still happens. And it is that stuff when I did it myself, but I'm blaming my partner for it. That is like straight up delusional. That is delusion. It's like instead of the reality, which is just simple. Like I did something slightly like that caused me annoyance. Then later on, that's the reality. I say something else. Imagine something else. Like, huh? That's insane. And then, I mean, the bigger ways, this just that's the small ways that this operates. But it happens constantly in bigger ways too. Like blaming. I mean, my partner is easily the hot target for any of this kind of blaming. Like, blaming for lack of, I don't know, some kind of action that I want to take in life, and those are harder to see as straight up delusional because it's way more up here. There's no boots on the radiator staring me in the face. So harder, and then there's like old blaming, like of my parents, my freaking like upbringing, my whole life or whatever. I mean, yeah, was I impacted by it? Sure, obviously. But is it causing me right now, like this grief? No. So that's like the bigger, just lack of like accountability, that this implies, causes. I mean, the causality is a little funny here. It goes in circles. But I think the ways we do this, I think, much easier to see in other people. It's much easier to see when it's done to us. When I'm blamed for something that I didn't freaking do, it's like, what are you talking about? Like you're. It's so easy to see. It's like I didn't do that. I didn't move your stuff. Like, no, I didn't hide your thing. I didn't do that. So, it's much easier to see in someone else. When I do it, it feels so correct, natural, and that is crazy. I mean, you gotta admit, that's insane. To just naturally go around blaming people for stuff that's happening, stuff that I even did myself. Like, oh my god, ridiculous. So I mean, I think it's funny that this happens, but it can also be, it's of course tragic too. Like, it keeps me so stuck. Because if I'm constantly thinking other people are causing my issues, then I never address the things that I can address. It's confusing. It's like, what am I even in charge of? Um, it's a real basic issue, let's call it. So just wanted to mention it also because I think it's kind of funny. So hopefully you get a kick out of it. I don't know. Maybe there's funny things you guys do that are kind of similar. Hey guys, just a little bit this morning. Hope you're well. Thanks.